Welcome back, everyone. Milk Bucket, episode 47, I think.
Hey, boys. Yep, exactly.
We're all blending
episode
together.
47.
We got me, we got Baz, we got Aaron, and we've also got a special guest, Sen, from the Critical Banter Podcast.
G'day, boys.
G'day,
But
g'day.
before we get into all of this, boys, I got to show you something.
Oh, yeah?
This is my dick.
Oi, good
Oh,
size.
that's a big one.
Baz, feel it real quick.
Oh, that's fucking... Are those your balls?
Yeah, smooth, right?
Fuck me, that's smooth.
Aaron, give it a sniff. Does it smell?
It smells refreshing and good.
Sen, give him a taste. I'm joking. We're not into all that. That's, Harvey Weinstein, all that shit is bad. But I don't know if you guys know this, but support for Milk Bucket is actually brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your fucking family jewels.
Precision.
Manscaped recently launched the Ultimate Men's Hygiene Bundle, the Performance Package. Join over 4 million men worldwide. A lot of men.
It's a lot of men.
That is quite a lot. A lot of smooth balls, that's what I'll say.
Smooth.
That's like a rapper on this ad read.
Who trusts Manscaped with this exclusive offer. You get 20% off. Look, I'm gonna cut to the bullshit. 20% off. Use the code MILKBUCKET. MILKBUCKET at the fucking checkout. You'll support the show and you'll get the fucking most amazing balls you can ever have. Here's the thing. Everyone who's shaved their balls before, you're always terrified.
True.
You're too afraid to breathe because you think I'm gonna actually shave my balls off. But
I had that every day.
The Lawnmower 4.0, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It helps reduce nicks and nips of the skin. It makes you feel so safe when using the product. And guess what? You get the most amazing balls. It even comes with ball deodorant. Now, I know usually you're thinking, yeah, I'll get my Lynx Africa and fucking spray it on my underarms. But guess what? Ladies are going to smell what's down there.
They are.
And when you've been working your 9 to 5,
9 to
or
5.
working your 4-hour shift at Macca's, and you're trying to get Stacey from the register to sniff your balls, do you want her to be smelling fucking musty old cheese?
No, of course not.
Or do
Stacey
you
don't
want
want that.
do you want her to smell the crop preserver?
Hey, the crop preserver.
And here's the thing, Manscaped, they're generous people. They're throwing in 2 free gifts with your purchase of the Performance Package 4.0. You'll get free underwear, which make you feel like a king when you put them on. Support your junk well, I'm not going to lie. You can shed travel bag. All packaged up in one nice fucking beautiful thing. I mean, Baz and Aaron, you guys got yours. How are you feeling?
Fantastic, smooth.
Wait, Aaron, let me feel.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Feel
Pretty
good?
smooth.
Yo, I can see my face in that.
Hey.
See your reflection.
Baz, give me a sniff.
Not
Not
bad.
bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. I'll have to talk to you later about that. Anyway, boys, it's time to take care of yourself. So go to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with code MILKBUCKET. That's manscaped.com. Use MILKBUCKET for 20% off. Let's get into the fucking show.
Fuck yeah, boys. Code Milk Bucket.
Rock your body. I think we already did this
We
song.
already did it.
Yeah, I really did it.
Should we make a Milk Bucket song right now?
We should make a song.
Aren't you a musician, Sen?
Yeah, let's go.
What did you used to play?
Played keyboard for 3 years.
Did you? Fuck.
I think piano's the hottest instrument.
I think keyboard's slightly different to piano.
Same, right?
Wait, what type of...
It wasn't like the guitar piano, right?
Same.
I think Sen means like an RGB. Like what?
Yeah,
what
I
games
meant
you
like
playing?
one of the mechanical keyboards.
Yeah. What keyboard are you
Oh,
talking about?
shit. A keyboard, that's what you call the piano, right?
No, he was talking about RuneScape.
Ah, RuneScape. Good
What,
game.
what were you talking about?
Fucking
This
Mozart.
fucking-
I was
Mo-
thinking him
fucking
as well. I'm not going to
Beethoven
lie.
over
I'm
here.
confused what you guys are talking about.
It's because Sen knows when I'm talking bullshit. That's the difference.
So shall we introduce Sen?
Oh, absolutely.
Sen, who is you?
Introduce yourself.
Oh, wow.
No pressure.
That was...
I'm going to introduce Sen.
Okay, that works.
So Sen comes from the Critical Banter Podcast, around 200,000, over 200,000 followers on TikTok. They're absolutely killing it. They've been smashing it. It was a really funny story how we actually discovered this. So we used to work together, me and Sen, and one of the people in the group sent a TikTok to the group chat, and it was Sen's. And the thing is, he didn't even know that when he fucking sent it. So he just sent that group that, and I was like, "What the fuck is that, Sen?" And then he was just like, "Yeah, boys, I've been running a TikTok for this whole fucking time."
That must have been a massive compliment. They're sending your TikToks without even knowing it's you.
Thing is, I thought he was taking the piss, but yeah, so he just sent the TikTok across and he's like, dude, this is pretty funny. And then Baz was like, dude, that's Sen's voice. And I'm like, yeah, by the way, guys, we have a TikTok.
That's crazy.
Oh, can I ask you? So
Wait, we haven't. So you're from the Critical Banter Podcast.
That's correct.
I feel like we should say that up
did I
front.
not say that?
He did. Let's say it a few more times.
Critical Banter boys.
Find us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
Links all down below, boys. So fucking get at it.
I was going to ask you, when that message came by, did you see it immediately?
No,
Or
I
did-
think it was like 20 or 30
Yeah,
minutes later.
because it took him like 20, 30 minutes to respond. And I was like, oh, because if someone discovered it, I'd probably take my time and think like, fuck. Now I've got to explain all this shit.
Yeah, that was the main thing. Like, not that I didn't want to tell you guys. It was just then I have to just like, give the whole backstory of the podcast. Blah blah blah.
I 100% get it.
We've all gone through it. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because you're just kind of like, shit, are they taking the piss or do they think this is good?
Exactly. That was the biggest thing. Like, is this cringe or do you guys
exactly.
actually think this is funny?
Well, and the other thing is that because it's work. So you got to be professional, and I don't know. Critical Banter actually isn't that not safe for work.
Yeah.
But the Milk Bucket podcast gets pretty fucking rowdy. Like you go onto that. If anyone from work saw that, the first fucking TikTok they'd see is, which one is more gay? Being in the middle or on the end of a three-way?
So Sen, which one is more gay?
I think our most viewed one as well on TikTok is me saying that I would fuck my cousin. So I mean,
Oh, actually-
not exactly safe
Basil
for
would
work.
too, so that's cool.
Basil has.
You're in good company.
Hey, they don't know that yet. So there's a hypothetical situation that we've asked a few people on this podcast. So we need to get your 2 cents on
go.
this. All right. So this is quite serious. So the answer will change our perception of you.
Okay.
So say you're on an island, a deserted island. It's about the same size of, we'll say like, it's hard to give context, but we'll say 100 meters by 100 meters. So it's like a square island, or you can think of a circle of the same type of area. And there's trees, there's foliage, but there's nothing man-made. So there's no knives, there's no guns, there's nothing like that. And on that island is only you and an elephant. And you get to repeat this simulation 100 times.
Yeah.
An African elephant which can stand up to 4 meters tall. Continue.
Sure. And you get to repeat this experiment 100 times. Do you think in any one of these 100 times you would beat the elephant to a fight to the death?
All 100. No. Honestly, in all answers, no. Fuck no.
Thank you.
How would I
am
take an
so
elephant?
glad.
So there's no weaponry. There's no.
Or you can use like
So
a
I'm
rock.
using my bare hands.
No, you can use a rock. Or
a
anything
rock.
that's-
Oh, what am I going to do with a rock, brother?
stick. You can make a spear if you want.
You can splash water at its eyes, blind it.
Baz thinks the elephant's gonna charge him and he says, I get 20 minutes apiece to build my fucking spear.
Yeah.
Why would it charge me?
Because
They're
African
aggressive.
elephants are wildly territorial and are known for charging people.
Yeah, but not everyone.
Yes.
Not you. They'll look at you and be like, oh, he's cool.
Well, at the end of the day, they're for hunting packs. They don't hunt,
They don't hunt.
but they're always in packs.
Not always.
First thing, what's that elephant thinking? Where's my buddies? Guess what, buddy?
Well, he needs backup to
Mate,
take you.
You don't have any buddies.
Here's the thing.
It's
He's
just-
going to think, where's my buddies? And going to feel more agitated and isolated,
Exactly.
which means he's going to be more willing to attack you.
He's going to make mistakes.
No, he's not.
That's what's going to happen.
Baz's mentality is like, bro, I'd starve him. I'd outstarve him because elephants have to eat X amount of tons a day. And I'm like, humans have to eat stuff, except you're on an island where he can at least eat the leaves and you're just sat there twiddling your thumbs, realizing you're wasting away for fucking 3 days.
At the end of the day, when we appear there, it's going to be me and him.
I know. And he's going to fuck you in the ass.
We're going to make eye contact. I'm going to say, mate, you don't have any buddies.
You're not going to make eye contact.
You don't have buddies there either.
You're not going to
I
make
don't
eye
need
contact.
it.
You're
I
going to
don't
have to
have
lift
impacts.
up your head.
At the end of the day, I'm going to look at him and say, mate, it's me and you. Let's dance.
And then he's going to pick you up by the trunk and go, doom, 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 like the Hulk to Loki in that fucking scene from Avengers,
So you actually reckon you couldn't take him on?
No.
Don't worry. Everyone else on this podcast
The way he
agrees
says
with
it,
you.
No.
he's like,
whoa.
wait, so you're scared of the dark? It's like, no, you're
Hold up.
fucking talking about fighting an elephant.
I think you're the first person in a long time whose gut reaction wasn't a yes.
That's not true.
Disagree entirely.
Who?
Everyone
who-
was
Everyone in
spoken to.
Fiji was not with you.
No, that I highly disagree.
The
Who
only
was with
person
you?
was Harley.
Harley, and then
Harley was not with you.
I think Ryan was yes at first, and then he changed.
He's
to
a country boy.
Okay, but everyone said yes.
Everyone no, they
And
did
then
not.
some people changed to no's when they saw real videos and saw how big they
Yeah,
are.
okay, so they saw real elephants. So everyone who agreed with you had never seen an elephant before.
Yes.
Well, that's unimportant.
It's not unimportant.
It doesn't matter because
It's the only thing.
okay, you don't want to be caught in the details of these type of things because
Like them being
execution-
4 meters tall and weighing, 500 kilos.
Well, that's the thing.
Probably
That-
more than that. I think my
Probably
car
more
weighs
than that.
500 kilos.
Probably
Probably a couple
more
of
than that.
tons.
Yeah.
It's all
All
about.
the videos of them toppling trees and fucking knocking over cars.
No, but Baz will awesome. It's fine.
Bro, easy.
Take his shirt off.
what-
Basil
really-
can dunk, do you know
Takes
that?
his shirt off.
At the end of the day, what matters is quickness.
Here's the thing. Basil's notorious for being wrong. I'm curious about this.
I'm well aware of that.
Yeah.
He works with him.
Trust me, we know. This is why we brought you on. We're just trying to shit on Baz for fucking an hour. So, Sen, what do you think if you had to fuck one girl, Ariana Grande or Nicki Minaj? Who would it be?
Basil and I have had this discussion
we?
many
Oh, really?
times.
You
Have
brought
we
this to work?
actually?
He's brought this to work and he's brought it to managers at our old place as well.
Oh, did I actually?
You did, and
He
my
went to the CEO and he said, if you're on an island
And I'm pretty sure we had opposing answers to this. I said Ariana Grande.
Hell yes,
10
king.
times out of 10.
Because you're a rational man who with eyes.
Yeah.
I
You know what I
remember
mean?
someone said Nicki Minaj.
No, it was you.
No
you were
one-
the
no one else
only
says that?
person.
No one else said Nicki
Baz,
Minaj.
you were that someone.
There was okay. There's always someone else. That's the
There's
thing.
never.
In every
never.
group. In
You've
every
never
group,
won.
there's always been
Asked people walking around Thailand doing a fucking census survey, and everyone said, "What are you talking about? Nicki Minaj is gross and ugly. She's like a hobbit."
Well, at the end of the day, some people don't like to view themselves as being able to achieve anything, so they just pick the easy option.
Easy
But at the end,
option.
I get it.
Nikki would be so
I
much
get it.
easier.
The biggest star in the world versus a short, fat, ugly bitch. You're right.
Is Ariana fat? What the fuck? When did that happen?
That's a nice one, bro. That's a nice one, dog. You got a zing right there. Hey, Baz, hit an applause for yourself.
I don't know where it is. It's gonna
Baz,
take
hit
too
an
long.
applause
It's
for
gonna
yourself.
take too
No, that
long.
was probably the best joke you'll make this episode.
Although I will say, okay, speaking of work, what are your guys' thoughts on Zoom meetings? Are you guys starting to get a bit fucking sick of them?
I don't mind them.
I don't think I've ever not been sick of them. I'm not gonna lie. They're the worst thing ever.
Well, I mean, first and foremost, has anyone here taken a Zoom meeting wank?
No.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, neither.
Did one last
What did you say?
I did one last week, but I wouldn't want to talk about it here.
Oh, did you?
No.
Oh, I did one this. I mean,
Aaron's so into fucking trying to tune all the finance bitches that he always has the camera off. It doesn't matter if he's in his underwear and no shirt on, he's always got the camera on.
I have a fucking story. When I started at the company I work for, I was going through a phase, not even a phase, I've been like this my whole life, but during summer, I never wear a shirt. So I joined a team meeting with all the grads without a shirt because I thought it was normal.
a work meeting.
Yeah, a work meeting.
Fuck
To
me.
be
Jesus.
fair, I had been drinking with them before. Like, we were very casual. We've spoken about things that you don't speak about at work. I joined this call and they were all very confused, but I set a precedent. That was what's important because once I did that once, I could do it again.
That you're the alpha.
I'm the fucking alpha.
Could you imagine I go into a fucking team
Maurice-
meeting with my shirt off?
Or he's the nudist.
Could you imagine this
the
shit?
weird guy at the beach? What are you talking about?
Here's the other thing. Aaron's fucking workmates, and I've met them, they're not like us. So my work was very similar to Aaron's.
Yeah.
My workmates would just fucking give you so. Could you imagine if someone did that? If,
Yeah.
if fucking, for example, Tony went into the group, into a video call with his shirt off,
Be fucking
be fair,
hilarious.
he would not hear the end of it.
None of those people work with me anymore. I don't want to say that's the reason.
Oh,
but
actually.
Yeah, they've all left.
Oh,
but
fuck.
so it was a different group to what you know. But they were also all girls, so
Oh, I see your angle.
it could have been a
I see.
strategy.
What was the the
Sexual
reactions?
harassment?
Well, yeah,
That's a
hang
good
on.
one.
Wait, so they were all girls and you were the only bloke. and
That's
you
so
rocked
much
up
weirder. I'm not
shirtless?
gonna lie.
Yeah,
Aaron's
mate.
like,
I
no,
thought it
we're
was
playing
normal.
shirts versus skins.
That's the thing. I'd always join like Discord calls and stuff, never with the shirt. I just hadn't put the two and two together.
Yeah, Discord calls.
I hate to be the guy. What do you think
What
the
the
female
fuck is this?
population on Discord is, bro?
It's like, yeah, when I'm talking to my mates, I always say, yeah, fucking
But
hell,
they were mates to me. That's the thing. But like, no one like ratted or anything because we're all friends. Like, we'd gone
yeah.
out drinking and
Because they
stuff.
were
It
too
wasn't a
intimidated
big
by your
deal.
sexual
Yeah.
advances. They felt unsafe
It
in the
wasn't-
workplace.
it was
I think I
no
did the training on this.
Because I'd already done it with like other people one-on-one.
Oh,
And
so
they were
you're a repeat
One-on-one.
offender.
No.
Aaron walks into a
mate.
meeting room with his shirt off saying, so let's get down to the hot and
You know,
sweaty
like
business.
catch-up calls. Dude, this is peak summer. This is peak
Put
summer.
on a fan, you fucking
The
psycho.
fan was on.
Jesus.
Yeah, come on, brother.
Aaron is the guy at the gym who fucking takes his full underwear, shirt, socks, all this shit and just walks around naked.
Oh, okay,
doing
so-
his hair.
This is the thing. At the gym, everyone flexes. Everyone likes to have a quick mile. Aaron's the type of guy that takes his pants off to flex his legs.
Oh, yeah.
He pulls his sweatpants down to check that quad.
But he also pulls down his underwear because he needs to get the top of the quad. You know what I mean?
I'm going to do that with Manscaped.
Oh,
Hey.
God.
With a Manscaped underwear, put it down a bit.
Code Milk Bucket.
So here's the other thing with Code Milk Bucket. That's the fucking way.
Talking about traders like Baz,
Yep.
Eileen Goo's been in the news. She's
Heidi Klum.
This would be a different conversation, although both models. Eileen Gu, who's an American Chinese skier. She was in the Winter Olympics. I think she won gold. She won it competing for China.
Oh.
Now she grew up in America. She's, I think, half Chinese, half American. So she's a halfie. Very attractive woman. Gorgeous. It makes me want to agree with all her beliefs. I'm not going to lie. But she also did kind of betray her own country to go fuck off to China and get a bag. Now,
Where was she born?
She was born in America. She grew up America. She was
But she's
American.
Chinese American. Both.
Yeah, well, she's equally both, but she also grew up in America, and she's got great Mandarin. It's not like she's going over there and saying
yeah.
"Konnichiwa," but
That's not Chinese.
the question
Moving on.
is, Oh yeah, it's not.
That's what I was going to say. That's not Chinese.
Ni hao. Anyway, I was just trying to think of something with syllables so I could do the accent, but fuck it. She moved to China and she competed for them, and I think she won a gold. Now, viewers can correct me if she fucking did bad, but I don't think this would be a news story if she got a fucking bronze.
Yeah.
So who cares about bronzes?
Yeah.
If you get a bronze, that's just advertising for I didn't win the Olympics.
It's just a fake gold.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, the question is, if you're in a scenario where you weren't born in the country you were raised, and arguably the country that made you who the person you are today,
Yeah.
would you compete for the ethnicity that you grew up as? Because there's no doubt, like, she's Chinese American, 100%. China is probably a big part of her cultural upbringing. But at the same time, when you grow up and use American
I think it would be okay
institutions-
for Sen to be competing in the Sri Lankan. That's fine. So Sen
grow up in
Seems
Sri Lanka?
targeted.
Sen
No.
Sen is
What do you
born.
mean?
Sen is born and raised in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's Sri Lankan.
Yeah.
So I would say it's okay for him to compete with the Sri Lankan Olympics.
Why?
For sure. Because I don't think there's that many superstars in Sri Lanka that aren't cricket superstars.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
So it's like kind of they need all the help they can get. Do you agree or disagree?
No, I agree with that completely. But you're probably asking more from a trader point of view, right? You know.
Yeah, well, what I would think of is like, who do you have? This is probably a good question to you, and maybe Baz. It's a bit more obvious because he just talks like a typical white guy. Like, people don't realize. Actually, so do you. I don't know what I'm saying, but do you think you would have more in common with the average Aussie or the average Sri Lankan?
Nah, it's the classic. You know, if I go to Sri Lanka, I'm whitewashed Sri Lankan.
Yeah, exactly.
But here, I'm not white enough to be Australian, so I'm kind of in the middle.
Yeah, kind of in the middle.
But if I had to say that I was one or the other, I would say I'm closer to Australian because I was born and raised here.
Yeah.
Or I think the way I do it is in Australia, I'm Arabic.
Yeah.
Outside of Australia, if I'm in Europe, then I'm Australian.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you're always who your culture is. And I think my culture is Australian. But then when I'm in Australia...
That's what I mean. Like it's very obvious that you two guys, whilst you have your ethnic backgrounds and shit like that, and there's a good chance that that's very important to you and it's like shaped who you are and shit like that. But like, if you're talking to someone, they're going to assume you're an Aussie.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my question is like, what are your thoughts on that whole concept? Because to be honest with you, I don't really give a fuck. Like, she gone out there and she's made a bag because if she was just the 50th skier or like no one cares about fucking Winter Olympics, let's be real.
I don't even know the Winter Olympics were on, to be
And I
honest.
was about to say, bro, if she had won a fucking bronze medal, then we have something in common because we both didn't win the Olympics.
Yeah, exactly. But she went to China and she got a bag, but she was not telling people because China doesn't allow dual citizenships. She
Does it
wasn't.
not?
No.
Okay.
Wait, so she's not Chinese citizen?
No, she became a Chinese citizen for this.
That's
what?
spicy.
And she wasn't
Okay,
saying
that
'cause
changes shit.
She's intending to go to I think Stanford or Harvard or something like that. So she's intending to live in America. So my question is, do you guys what are you guys' thoughts on
So
patriotism?
is she a dual citizen now? Or is
No.
she
You
not
have to
just
give
Chinese?
up. You have to give up the American to be Chinese.
That's a bit extreme.
Fuck,
Okay.
bro. I feel like, okay, this is the thing. It's tough for me and Sen because
Yeah.
neither of us really have a reason to pick the other side.
No.
But with her, she kind of does. Because there's a lot of money if you're a Chinese athlete.
Yeah,
Like,
I
they
respect
get-
that
they
highly,
make a
what she's
fat
done.
bag.
Especially in a Winter Olympics based in China.
Oh,
exactly.
So it's not
true.
just like a random Winter Olympic. It's like, no, we're boosting the results for our fucking one.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But like, what do you guys think about that whole situation? Because like I've spoken to a lot of, to be honest, a lot of Chinese people who have grown up in Australia, and they're like, when I go to China, Chinese people don't treat me like I'm Chinese.
Exactly.
They treat me like, oh, are you Malaysian? Like, what are you?
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, they don't just fit in straight away because even though they might speak Mandarin proficiently amongst people here, it's a different thing about whether you speak it every day.
Here's another
You know
thing
what I
as well, and you might have noticed this as well, especially back home.
Yeah.
Chinese people in Australia are very different to Chinese people in China.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like Indian people in Australia, I assume, are very different to Indian people in India.
Yeah,
It's like you have... when
He's
you
Sri
go to a-
Lankan, Baz. Come on.
Oh, I know, but I'm not talking about India.
No, I'm just taking the
I was just picking another...
Baz is racist.
What I was trying to say is that when you're in a first world country, it's multicultural because people have wanted to go there. It wasn't always multicultural. So you only have the best of Chinese people that have managed to be able to come to Australia or to come to America. And when you go to... Because it's very hard to get a visa overseas.
The word "the best" just feels uncomfortable, doesn't
No,
it?
no, it's not. It's not, bro.
They're not sending our best. They're rapists. They're murderers.
But this is the thing. It's very hard to get a fucking PR in Australia, a permanent residency. It's really fucking hard. You got to be very skilled and you got to do very well and you got to have
like-
really good English.
You need like 4 degrees or some shit.
Yeah,
And
so
like
you're not
$1 million or something.
You're not, for example, for Jordan, you're not getting the average Jordanian. You're not getting the average Chinese person. Like you're getting the top of the top. And those people are
Did
very...
you just call yourself the top of the top?
No, I'm calling like my dad who did the immigration.
respect.
I'm just fucking anyone.
It's also not the top of the top, because the top of the top, like I've heard this analogy in used with India, where it's like the top of the top Indians can make money in India.
Yeah.
So they want to stay amongst their people and also make money.
Yeah.
It's kind of like middle class or like upper middle class.
Upper middle. It's like the next rung down.
You got enough money to pay for the fucking Australian tuition, where it's like four times higher than residents. But at the same time, it's like, you're not so wealthy and so connected that
It's not all about money though. A lot of people might come for medical treatments. So a lot of the times you might have someone who's in the upper class, and for example, they might need an IVF treatment to have children. So they say that there's no chance we can have this in Sri Lanka, and there's no chance we can have this in Jordan. We're going to need to immigrate out of here.
You usually don't need to get a PR to get IVF.
No, but you need to get out of there. And it takes multiple times to do that. And what if you have multiple kids?
Just catch multiple flights. What are you talking about? That's better than uprooting your entire existence and flying if you're an upper class person.
There's more benefits to just having the kid. Like you want to have a kid overseas, have them educated there, and then you can do it for free if they become citizens or like with major there's so many benefits.
But again, I don't think anyone in the actual upper class is ever getting bad educated. Like the upper class in any country is usually has enough money to give them proper education.
They're speaking English, for sure. They're speaking fluent English. They're getting a degree that they want to have.
English isn't my metric of success, Baz, because I'm not a racist.
Oh, overseas, bro, it's huge.
But in overseas, it's
quite fucking huge. Like being able to speak English without an accent, like with an American accent or something like that, which is the quickest way to know if someone's upper middle class overseas. If they can speak English with an international accent.
That's interesting.
It's the quickest way to know, because you can speak to them and they'll just fully understand it. And they speak better English than an Australian person would, because we have slang, so we don't know the proper way of saying things.
If they went to an English international school, sure. But if they go to an American one, they're not speaking better English. Americans can't even spell words correct because they want to fucking shorten them.
Yeah, well, you
Color, COLOR, fuck off.
Well, you have a lot of,
Lazy
it might be the same in Sri Lanka actually, but in Jordan, you have a lot of like white people that are teaching there. So you'll have people that wanted to teach in a third world country. So you just have a lot of actual just Americans that are there who are teaching them English. So they know they have very high standards of English. It's
Well, yeah, so Sri Lanka was a British colony. So when
of course.
When your ancestors were there, they forced everyone to learn English.
I'm Irish, Tim.
Oh, sorry.
I'm Irish. I was oppressed by the English. Yo, fuck
Join the
bro.
club.
fuck 'em.
Pro IRA, innit?
Yeah.
Oh God, not this again.
Fucking bomb them.
Is Sri Lanka like India where they actually don't mind the English? They're kind of happy about it?
No, what do you mean? India hates the English.
Yeah.
Dude, what are you talking about?
India?
There are some people that like it and some people hate it,
Yeah,
but a lot of them fucking hate it, bro.
Vast majority hate
Bro,
it.
there have been studies came out that showed like India's trajectory. They were going to be
Yeah.
the superpower. Like their economy was fucking banging.
They had all these like spices and riches and whatnot.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
The English came and just took it all.
They literally just drained it, and then fucking Gandhi went on a hunger strike, and they said, "Now's a good time."
Yeah.
as good a
Once
time
they've
as
taken
any.
everything
Fuck it, let's just
already.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they're all fucking PC. Trying to take it back. Mate, look what you did for fucking 2,000 years.
Oh yeah. I mean, the fact that England's national dish is tikka masala
Tikka
is
masala,
crazy.
there you go.
Like, that's such disrespect. I don't know if it's paying homage or disrespect.
No, the
but
thing,
it
you
feels
can't
like
even
something.
find tikka masala in India. It's not a thing.
Apparently, it was made in.
It was made in
UK.
England, yeah. By by like Indian immigrants who went to England.
And then the white people claim it's theirs. It's like, no, motherfucker.
Well, that's what they do.
It was a dude from India who made a fucking sick dish, and now you bitches are claiming that some white dude with a skinhead said, "You know what? I know what would be great in curry."
Is that your scouser?
Fucking paprika. Oh, you spent a couple months in London, right?
Yeah.
How did you find that?
Expensive.
Oh,
Fuck
really?
me. Yeah. It was so expensive. Like getting the tube, Jesus Christ. It was
How
like
much is the tube?
to go even like a couple of stations was like £3-4. So times it by two.
Yeah.
$8 to go. You could probably walk that in 10-20 minutes.
That's fucked.
Damn.
What else was expensive? You mean like rent or just food or just everything?
Well, so I went with uni, so I paid like a couple of £1,000 for like a couple of months, like you said. A couple of weeks actually. But food was cheap. Food was all right. Booze was so cheap. Do you go to like a Tesco, which is like literally as you walk down the street, there's like a supermarket Tesco. You can buy it was like a liter of Carlsberg for like £1.
Jesus.
Off. I do remember the £1 and the €1 beers.
Yeah.
And you just go to any servo, the same way you'd get a vape here in any sort of like corner shop, you just get a beer from the fridge, €1.
What are they at pubs though? Are they expensive?
Same prices here.
Yeah, it's
£6.
not bad. Booze is actually not
£6
bad.
It's
Yeah.
because Australia has so many tariffs
Taxes,
on everything
yeah.
that it's just anything in Australia costs money to get
Well,
to.
it makes you feel like how the fuck are the pubs in Australia profiting when it's so cheap to buy booze from the like here. It's cheaper to get a 6-pack from the liquor land or like the liquor store, but it's not that much cheaper. Like you're not saving heaps of money. In England, you're saving a fucking bag because you can get a 6-pack for literally £4, and then each beer is still the same price here, which is like maybe $12 Aussie, $13 Aussie, and the 6-pack is less than one beer.
That's crazy.
That's the fucked part, and people just get so fucking wasted there as well.
Yeah.
It's
But they get wasted here too.
no.
I mean, you're still getting 2x.
You physically cannot get wasted in bars here to the same level as over there. Like they don't check for if you're wasted. They don't care. If you can pay, you get what you order.
Really? Okay.
There's no.
So people don't kick you out if you're too fucked.
That's just not true.
They might-
There's compilation videos of people being thrown out because they're too pissed.
no, they might be thrown out, but they won't be refused service. Like they won't be
Being
refused.
thrown out, like being thrown
anyone
out and
you'll get
refused
thrown out.
service, they're pretty similar situations, yeah.
What were your thoughts actually living there?
I think, yeah, like I lived in central London, so it was fucking busy. It was like so busy all the time, heaps of people. The one thing I did like, so all the pubs and stuff, you can actually drink outside on the street.
Yeah.
So like at 5 o'clock on like a Friday or whatever, you're seeing like you're walking down the street and everyone just has a beer on their hand, like standing on the pavement.
Yeah, that's sick.
It was kind
Oh,
of jarring
legit.
at first because like
Oh,
in Sydney
fuck.
you can't do any of that shit, right?
What about on the tube? Can you just have a beer with you?
It's a bit sketchy on the tube, to be honest, especially if you went at night. Obviously, as a guy, it was a bit okay, but like I felt like if I was a woman, fuck, I'd be scared, honestly.
Fuck.
Yeah. Oh, and then peak hour on the tube is one of the worst things I've ever felt in my life.
Really?
So
Why?
the central line, the red line, their trains don't have aircon. So I went in summer as well. So it was like 30 something outside. In the tube is like 40.
That's fucking
You're
packed,
packed.
bro.
Literally, it's like this is pre-COVID as well. I had like barely any room to even move my arms,
Fuck, so you're like
and
a
there's no
Japanese
aircon.
train. Fuck, damn. Do you feel like a hot chick in a Japanese train?
Yeah, but no one was groping me though, so I was doing the groping.
Do you reckon that actually happens in the Japanese trains?
Yeah.
No, I actually don't think so because I've heard that the reason why their population is declining so much is because blokes don't know how to make any kind of move. So I think
No way.
their
I've heard
population
that.
is heavily declining. And when I went there, like the amount of sex stores
Yeah.
to the amount of kids you saw, kind of disproportionate. I'm not going to
Because
lie.
all the blokes are working 24/7, so they don't have time.
I mean,
to
I'm
meet
sure
people.
that's part of it,
Not
but
that
like
they don't know how to pick up girls.
no, but there's a big thing that Japanese men are like. There's like an unconfidence level when it comes to just going out and like pulling.
Couldn't it be a culture? Surely the culture would adapt to that.
Maybe, but like, why do people not report the same thing in Korea like they do in Japan?
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Japan has a severe, like, Japan's economy is going to be fucked in 50 years because they're just not going to have
Gonna
enough
be no
people to support it.
Yeah. So I see James's point because I've heard I've heard that guys don't make a move enough. But I've also watched Asa Akira, shout out. I've
She's
watched
American,
her,
so the same thing.
Well, I've watched her on a podcast talking about her experience on a Japanese train, and she was like, it may as well have been a porn set. And she said
I
that
don't know.
every Japanese girl has had that experience on a train where you just
I went to a club, right? And you saw guys
in
who
Japan.
would- yes,
Yep.
in Japan, in Tokyo, who would see a girl with a low cut shirt and they would stop and look and stare. Some of them would even point.
That
they wouldn't make a
supports
move.
our point.
Point.
Like, holy shit, none of them would make a move.
Was this girl by herself or was she like with friends or what?
All sorts.
Far out.
It was not like a normal, like going to an Australian club is different because like you're going there and you do see a lot of like intermingling between like groups and shit like that,
Yeah,
like on
yeah.
the dance floor. Whereas this, it seemed very cliquey. Like it's almost like Baz has talked about this in Australia, but Japan was to a next level. And I actually heard a comedian talk about it, fucking Schultzy, say that Japan almost commercializes everything where it's like people need to jerk off. So when you go into a porn store, there's 2 levels dedicated to pocket pussies. Whereas like the female, like I went to an 8-story sex shop, right? It was in the heart of Tokyo. And most of it was dedicated to blokes, pocket pussies, all that kind of shit. It wasn't like stuff for guys to use on girls. It was stuff for them to use on themselves.
Yeah.
And then there was one which was like a small enclave of dildos and shit. And you just saw Japanese schoolgirls kind of looking at it laughing, like as a joke almost.
Yeah.
And I noticed like shit, it's almost like, it feels like a very cold society. It's not like, and I loved it there. It was so interesting to see, but it felt futuristic and it wasn't like a a warm feeling when you're walking around the streets. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
I was about to say, if we have any Japanese viewers, you should tell us, what you think. I've just been on Podbean, which shows us where our viewers are. We don't even have one view from Japan.
Really?
Yeah.
How fucked is that?
One.
But the thing is, it's not just Japan, it's all of Asia. We don't have a single Asian country viewer. Not even one.
Well, Asia includes fucking India and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know if we have a single Indian viewer.
We do. We had some.
Oh yeah,
We also had some
we got a shit ton.
Filipinos.
We got a shit ton of Indian viewers. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Because also you
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
give it like India has a very high English literacy rate. So it's like,
It's like 10%.
I mean,
But I mean,
I don't know if it is 10%.
I would say it's higher than that.
Is
But
it?
even then, 10% of 2 billion people?
yeah. So I think in terms of Shin, it's sort of like they've got the second highest amount of Muslims on earth,
Yeah, exactly.
but they're like 5% Muslim.
No,
So
it's
just
30%.
30%.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's a big amount.
Yeah. But still, for a country that's the second highest amount of Muslims, you'd think that it's more than that. Like Indonesia's number one, and I think it's 95% or something like that. Like just everyone in Indonesia is Muslim,
Yeah.
except for in Bali.
But Bali's its own thing, I reckon.
Bali's Australian.
Has anyone here been?
Yeah.
Has anyone here been Bali?
No, I haven't. I
I'm
want
not
to.
a poor
Been
fucking
once.
white
You've
guy.
been? Yeah, me too. Where did you go?
Oh, it was a while back. And I went with my family as well because we just wanted to see what all the hoo-ha was about.
Yeah.
I think I know the one
do you
area
have
where
any
where you probably went was Kuta. Is that what it's
Fuck
called?
Kuta. I didn't go to Kuta.
Okay, well
Do you
that's,
see me as a Kuta person?
yeah, isn't that where all the backpackers go?
It's where all the fucking Deros go.
That
So-
would be where you
All
would
the
go.
Case in
backpackers.
point.
Fuck no, bro.
And
Fuck
you're
no.
the kind of guy
Not
like
about that
slumming
shit.
it overseas. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but I like going to the best of places. Like, I'm not going to go to the place where just all the, where all the tourists are. I would rather go to the best places. And if the tourists happen to be at the best place, then that's just a happy coincidence. But I'll go to where the best of Bali is. So, for example, in Bali, it's not just the outside area. People think of it as like, oh, it's got amazing water, it's got amazing beaches. And they do have amazing beaches. Nowhere near as good as Sydney's, by the way.
Yeah.
I'll say that straight up.
Yep.
It's one of the worst things about being from Sydney. Beaches overseas fucking suck.
Yeah.
Because our beaches are so damn good.
I
I've
disagree.
heard a lot of, when I went to PP Islands, it's like a different
Okay.
world.
Yeah.
You've been to PP Islands. PP Islands is probably one of the top 10 in the world.
Is
So-
it PP or Fifi?
PP, I think.
I've always heard PP, but it could be fucking Fifi, to be honest with you.
Sorry, I just wanted
I
to
think a Fifi's
clarify
like
that.
a fucking pocket pussy. Isn't it one of those things?
Yeah, well, so with Bali, one of the most beautiful things they have is the nature. So it's sort of like when we were in Fiji, you go to the middle, like where all the greenery is. You have these insane waterfalls, and you have a fucking mountain in the middle of it, and you can do a sunset hike where you walk to the top and you look over it, and there's this. It's just the most amazing thing you'll ever see. And then you got to fucking trek all the way fucking down. It's just the worst thing. That walk down is the worst thing on earth.
We just run through it. Fuck it.
To be fair, you went with a girlfriend. So I think if
Yeah.
you went by yourself, you would go to that sketchy place that
Kuta?
Sen was saying. Yeah.
Well, that's because that's where the airport is. It's like sort of staying in Nandi and
Okay.
yeah. So it's
I
like
see.
you would realize within one day that
You
this
don't
is-
wanna be there.
Yeah, you would realize in one day this is not the reason why tons of people come here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It's
that
very-
makes
Tons of
very
people
quick to
come there
notice.
because Australian tourists like cheap holidays.
And the worst thing is when you meet the non-Australians. Because there's so many Australians there and it's so bogan, as fucking James said. When you see like an English person that's traveled halfway across the world to come and just see a whole bunch of bogans who are sitting there having shisha at the fucking
Do you know
Kuta.
what? Do you know what the funniest thing is? When you hear Americans talk about it like we talk about Hawaii. I hear on podcasts like, yeah, I just really want to go to Bali. Like, I've heard Bali is beautiful. It's like tropical and amazing. And I'm like, oh, mate. I haven't been there and I know what you're in store for, bro. Expect a fucking 3 teeth average on the fucking island. Let's be real.
The good news is that you don't need to pack too heavy because everything there is so fucking cheap.
Yeah.
You'll go there with unbranded things. You'll come back with a brand new polo shirt. You'll go back there with, with some Tommy Hilfiger. None of it's real.
Some of the best fakes I've ever seen in my life, I have to say.
Really?
You get some really nice fakes.
Oh, okay.
That was the weirdest thing about going to Japan when you realize like, oh, this shit isn't fake, is it? Because when you've gone to like Southeast Asian countries and you're used to going to like the very
markets.
touristy place and then you go to a city that looks at you like, we don't need tourists.
Yeah.
You just happen to be here. Like, it makes you think like, oh, okay, that's why it's $80 a t-shirt. It's because it's just regular fucking prices, you know?
You had a very similar story, but I had something in New York City, and only when you told me this, I remembered this. So it's like sort of if you've been partying all night, or if you've just been out all night, or if you just need to catch a taxi, and when you're in Bangkok or something like that, the tourist just takes the taxi, right? It is what it is. The other people have their own form of transport. But when you're in New York or in Tokyo, you're competing with a local who's just trying to get to work.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, no, well, this is not supposed to work this way. I thought I was going to come into this tuk-tuk and get home.
Because in Thailand, the whole infrastructure is built around people coming and spending money there, and they all know it. And like, they probably, economy-wise, they probably make a lot of money as a result. That's why they're all selling the exact same fake shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, every store you go to sells the same products. But like, you go to a first world country and they're like, motherfucker, we don't need you. We got a bigger economy in our city than your whole country does, dickhead. Like, what are you talking about, bitch? Get out of the taxi.
Are you guys big into the fake stuff?
No. Really.
I buy it for the lols. I bought a Supreme t-shirt for $5.
That's
so funny.
Was it an obvious fake?
Yeah, it started like fading after a couple of days.
Oh, really? Oh, so you're wearing it as well?
Yeah, why not?
I'm more of a fan of buying a fake Supreme than a real Supreme. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
no one wears any Supreme anymore, fake or real.
I think someone
even a few years back.
Supreme is just such a racket at the time because like there wasn't, you know, like sometimes you hear about certain companies are like, no, but the material is better.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're made in the same sweatshop as fucking Kmart things. And
That's
stuff.
true. That's
but you can believe the lie.
Yeah.
People weren't even saying the lie about Supreme. They weren't even saying it was better. It was literally just because Hypebeast had gotten so big that people were just trying to buy the thing.
It's like current day NFTs.
The 100% is the exact same thing.
Speaking of sweatshops, boys, one of my issues with buying things that you could get online is that they're often made in sweatshops, and you don't get to support local artists, so you don't get to support, people that do proper work.
Yeah, like in the dark web, when you buy off like Escobar, it's like he's just sitting with his hippopotamuses. Yeah. He's not doing it.
You don't know who's done the work. You don't know who's getting the money. And that's why when I bought a new phone case the other day, I wanted to make sure. Yeah, well, I wanted to make sure that I was going to support local artists.
There's no way. They're all using Getty Images. They just buy it $3.99 for a fucking subscription.
That's the thing. You go to any sort of phone case website, you just get some shitty fucking image. It gets from Getty. They're not giving any local artists any sort of recognition. And then the phone case isn't even biodegradable.
That's the thing. Like, you can never find a biodegradable phone case.
You can never find it.
It's just adding to landfill.
But then I found a website.
Fuck off.
I'm not joking, bro.
Baz, we know how you can fight an elephant. Nice try. Stop with the outlandish claims.
Nah, man. So there's this website called Puppy This, and that will help you find the best phone case that you'll ever use. So essentially what they do is they get photos from local artists and they'll put it in the back of your phone case.
But here's the thing. It's going to be expensive, innit?
Well, it's actually not that expensive. So the cases are like, I think around $25, $20. It's normal case price. But you're on top of that, you're going to also get 20% off.
That's amazing.
So if you click the link in the description below or on Spotify, you just go in the description of the podcast. Check out Puppy This, boys. You're going to love their phone cases. Well, okay, moving on to NFTs. Is anyone bought into them?
Don't understand what NFTs are, so that's why I haven't. Can someone explain it to me,
We have a tokenization expert here.
I am not we're not going through this fucking rabbit hole again.
We've done it like 3
Give me
times.
You explain it.
a 20-second rundown of what it is.
Who's going to do it?
You know how $1 and another dollar, they're interchangeable. It doesn't matter. The whole idea of NFTs is that one is not the same as the other.
Right.
So you can't just interchange them. And the whole idea is like you can track your ownership of a certain thing over the blockchain.
Okay.
Now, this all sounds bullshit because it is.
Yeah.
But in the future, maybe it could be used like if you bought the license through an NFT of a certain sound and someone in a movie wanted to use that sound, they might have to pay you royalties because you actually can track ownership. So
it's pretty cool. Do you actually not know what they are?
I have like a basic that understanding, but I haven't bothered looking into it any further.
I think it's pretty damn cool. Like I've never bought any.
It sounds like a bubble.
But yeah, it is
Definitely a bubble.
100%.
It also seems like a massive effort to buy. Like it's not easy. You can't just go into ComSec, which is a local brokerage to Australia,
You can't just buy.
and just buy one.
you got to convert to it. You got to buy ETH. And
You
then
got to buy
the-
in Ethereum, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. I think there might be some other methods to buying it, some other cryptocurrencies, but
Well, an interesting one, and this is a great example. Nelk Boys made an NFT.
yeah.
Well, they didn't make a NFT. They made 10,000 of them. So they made these things called full send cards.
Yeah.
And they made 10,000 of them. So you can get any one. You can get number 374 up to 10,000. And they sold them all for, I think, 2.5 Ethereum each or 1.5 Ethereum each. So that's like $4.5 grand. And they all sold out.
Jesus.
Just within a second, they all sold out. So they just made $45 million or $50 million. Just like boom, done. And then they get a split for every time it gets traded as well.
Seriously?
Wait, what? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Wow.
To be fair, when they sell their shitty fucking shotgun tools, which you can buy 10 of them for fucking $5, as I found on Amazon.
Yeah.
The exact same
I
thing.
saw one, by the way.
Yeah, they sell it for like 25 fucking US.
Yeah.
like they've got big enough fans they can do it. But I would actually say, if you were to ever buy an NFT, if you bought a standalone one, you're a retard because you got to hope that the fucking artist becomes famous.
Yeah.
If you were ever to buy one, you'd want it to come in a set of things like the Bored Ape concept, where it's like there's X amount of Bored Apes, which are like these drawings of the fucking monkey things or whatever. But like you're buying part of a collection, and there's a chance that someone else wants to buy another one. But
Yeah.
if you're buying the one of one, there's no chance it's going to blow up unless the artist became like. It'd be like buying actual art.
Here's an example. So if you buy a meme, so if you buy the Bad Luck Brian, or if you buy the what's a good meme?
A good meme.
Any one of the famous memes,
Yeah.
they've all been NFTs.
Yeah, but
And-
the thing is,
and
they would have to be you would have to get in early without paying a fucking huge markup. And if you got in early and you
But
started trying to buy commissions, no one's going to use it, so it's never going to blow up
People thought Bitcoin was a bubble when it was $1.30.
Yeah, that's crazy.
because it has been bubbles.
Well, no,
It's been in a constant cyclical bubble.
that's
Like,
the thing, you don't.
you can say
know-
the same about any market.
You can say that.
you can't really because
Stock market's
getting
all
in
based on
early?
future value.
yeah, I know, but when you look at bubbles, like if something goes up, like no stock or not many stocks go up 10x a day, then drop 5x the next day. Well, you can't
That
drop
doesn't
5x.
happen.
But NFTs do
10x
that.
in one day.
Okay, at the
That's
start,
crypto. No, it didn't. It's slowly. It went from $1 to $10 over a slow period, over years. It
Aaron,
wasn't
you
one
said that
day.
in the last century, it's the fucking fastest growing
It is.
asset.
It is because compounding.
But over the last century, that's a fucking long time, bro.
But it's only been around since what, 11?
2011, was it?
It was the fastest performing asset over the last decade,
Sure.
not century. Yeah.
But that's my point. You've looked at the times. Like no stock is moving like that unless you go into penny stock areas.
Of course I have. Yeah, plenty of penny stocks move like that.
Penny stocks.
Yeah, yeah. of
No
course.
S&P 500.
It's something that starts from nothing.
I think if you look at Facebook or maybe Netflix or one of those tech
Facebook
companies,
doesn't jump up and down like that does.
if you look at it
Also,
over the last
that's not an
decade,
asset. That's an individual stock, so you can't compare it. It's the fastest growing asset.
oh, so you can't even compare.
So
it to
I
stocks.
think it's compared to stocks as a whole. So the average S&P, for example.
Oh,
I
fuck.
don't know where the actual.
I
stock
hate
comes
these
from.
fucking comparisons.
Yeah.
Where they say, "Oh yeah, I'm the best fucking Arab from my tiny little city."
Yeah.
It's like no one fucking cares. Like just make a fair comparison. Why are you giving me
But
this?
that being
specific
said,
thing?
I don't know if that's true. I would just make that assumption. Given I'm sure the people who are pro crypto are going to do.
but
whatever
also
sneaky
nothing
move
has
they
moved
can.
like that, even if you make the individual stock comparison, because Bitcoin was worth less than $1 and now it's worth, even at it's low right
Yeah,
now,
true.
$36,000.
Yeah.
It's still extraordinarily high. Like the reality is the way it moves is because like bubbles are created by people. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're not naturally forming their consumer demand exceeding the actual value and then people realizing it and the market reflecting it. And the way crypto's gone is because people get hyped and it goes up and then something happens and some people get dishyped, whatever the fucking word is, and drops. And I'm not saying it doesn't have a future. Like it's too ingrained that it's going to go away. There's no chance
But
Bitcoin's
the
not going
thing
to be a
is,
thing in 50
the
years.
value comes from, as you said, demand and supply, people buying it. It's
Sure.
the exact same thing with stocks.
I disagree, bro. But I want to ask Sen, are you a crypto kid?
Got a bit of Bitcoin, bit of Ethereum.
Gang shit.
So
Had Ripple a few years ago.
are you?
Hey, that's a throwback right there.
Yeah.
Well, are you in it for the hype? Or are you in it because you believe the technology and you believe it's going to do well?
The hype.
The hype. Okay.
Yeah.
So for you, it's like hitting the slaps.
Yeah.
We'll see
Pretty
where-
much. It's
we'll see where
gambling.
this goes.
Yeah.
I honestly, you said before that it's never going to go away. I think it'll be gone, and people won't even remember that it's there. It's happened before.
When
We've had
When?
tulip
what?
bubble. How much are tulips worth now? It's the first ever bubble in history.
people still remember it. What do you mean?
Yeah, but how much are tulips worth?
You said people won't remember it.
They remember. Yeah, they'll say, oh yeah, the crypto back and then. But there's so many bubbles now. People will remember the tulip because it's the
.com bubble,
first.
bro. Look at them now.
Look at most of them.
Look
They're
at the ones
gone.
that survived.
Okay, so of the few that
Look
survived,
at the crypto. We're talking crypto, not
99% of them
Yeah.
gone.
But tech
No,
bubble
when I
is
say
a
crypto,
collective
I'm
for all
not saying
tech.
fucking sex coin. I'm not saying fucking milk
even
bucket
the big
coin. I'm
ones.
saying Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going to.
I'm saying Ethereum as well because Ethereum's using smart contracts and all this other kind of shit.
But
Like,
this saying
I think
of-
the big three will be Bitcoin because that's the one people know about.
Yep.
Ethereum because it seems to have actual use in business, and Monero because people like buying drugs on the internet. Those are the reasons. Those are the three, and the rest of them will be created. There'll be a bubble that's formed through Reddit, and then people will lose a lot of money because they don't sell.
Can I ask, boys, is Bitcoin no longer good for using it to buy drugs?
I think we've gone over this, but no, there are much better sources because you can trace back with Bitcoin.
I thought that was the beautiful
whole
thing
the
about
whole
it.
beautiful thing about blockchain is you can see where one thing goes. You can see the whole chain.
You can see if you know the string of letters and numbers,
Yeah.
you know what's going into that, but you
Yeah,
have no
the
idea
thing-
who that is.
Yeah, but I think you can see when it's come from a certain exchange. I don't know if that's true or not, but there is ways to trace back, and that's why people use other cryptocurrencies like Monero.
Like people aren't going to be able to tax evade with Bitcoin soon. Maybe not even now, but definitely not in the near future because like even someone like me who doesn't know a whole lot about Bitcoin, about crypto, like it's been a common thing that Bitcoin is not the secure one that everyone like hyped it up to be originally. Yeah. It was just the most secure of its time.
What do you guys think about the dark web? Have you guys been there?
I actually haven't.
Neither have I.
I don't think I have. We went on this like a fake version back in IT class in high school where people dressed up as Shrek and did some, I don't know, they killed chickens and shit. I don't know. It was
He's not talking about dark web. He's talking about Shrek Chan.
Yeah.
I was also on Shrek Chan.
There was hidden like areas within Shrek Chan that like led to some satanic rituals.
But that's just like when you go on 4chan or fucking 8chan, it's all like there's sneaks, you know. There's dangerous things.
The sneaky things on that website.
Should we do that for a video idea, by the way, one day, boys? Should we go
back
to
on Shrek Chan?
No, go to the dark web together.
Buying drugs on the dark web?
Okay, definitely not buying drugs on the dark web, but I reckon we do something on the dark web that like, you know, look at what's available. Because you know that there's something, I don't know if you guys have heard stories of the dark web, just like the fuck things that are there, like available.
Baz, for the last time, we're not buying a slave. Stop bringing it up. Every fucking business meeting, he's like, yo, if we had a slave, we'd just never do TikToks again.
Hey, I'm not the white person here. I'm not the one who introduced this.
Brother, the Arabic people fucking enslaved many people. What are you talking about? Concubine was an Arabic word back in the day.
That was a very long time
I don't want to hear that shit.
That was a very, very long time ago.
Who enslaved the fucking Jewish people in Egypt? Arabic people.
Baz is looking around right now.
I don't know what you guys talking
He's
about.
like, yeah, but the pyramids are so pretty. Yo, I got a random thing that happens and it makes me laugh every time and I don't know what I should do about it.
Yeah.
I keep getting emails saying, is this your publication? And it's this guy with the same name as me who's like a biologist or something like that.
Is there actually?
Yeah, and I keep getting emails to one of my email addresses saying like, is this you? Claim it now. And I'm low-key thinking like, yo, do I claim this story on nanobiotics in fucking molecular blood cells or something like that? I just chuck it on my LinkedIn or
Make
something.
it an NFT.
Jokes.
Bro, this is too funny because I was actually asked it in the group chat. I reckon what I want to do is make a fake LinkedIn and put like really, really good qualifications. Someone who's gone to like the best, like maybe graduated Harvard with a top GPA and has like some great references and then worked at Goldman Sachs, is like just top fucking recruiter clickbait.
Yeah.
And then you just comment dumb shit on people's posts. So it's someone who's like a VP at Goldman Sachs. So like a really top bank, someone who's like you would not argue with. And then when someone posts something dumb on LinkedIn, which happens so often, you just write, this is the dumbest thing I've ever read.
I love it.
And you just see the replies that you get on that.
Some men just want to watch the world burn. That's the joker out here, bro.
Don't you ever feel like on LinkedIn, and I don't know how many of the viewers have a LinkedIn, it's a fucking dumb social media to have.
I love it.
Don't you realize half the shit there is just like, fuck off.
It is so cringe because it's like
It's just
the way
cringe.
like LinkedIn culture gives people the confidence that Facebook used to give them.
Yeah.
Where you'll like take a photo out with you like fishing with the fucking fish and it's like, shut the fuck up, you cunt. And I think Instagram
Honestly.
has more of a toxic culture. So people are scared of posting shit that like they can get ridiculed by. But like fucking LinkedIn, someone will go to a grad night and they'll take a photo with all the other grads and they'll be like, great meeting these young fucking game changers out here trying to revolutionize the industry by sitting here being quiet while the fucking speaker talks and never asking questions. Like, it's so cringe, bro.
Bro, these fucking MLM people. Oh,
Have you seen them on LinkedIn?
Dude, so many
I have
MLM
not
people.
seen a multi-level marketing scheme person on LinkedIn.
It's always those people that start off with why they shouldn't have been successful.
Actually, we both had one girl that slid into our DMs on LinkedIn trying to get us into her
Trying to
MLM.
get us into her side hustle.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like,
Slid into the DMs. I was like, she's kind of cute. But then all of a sudden, boom.
Well, that's the thing.
Amway.
And the way that they talk about it is very different to an actual successful person. So an actual successful person tells you about, they don't really focus on the adversity. They'll talk about how they managed to go through it.
Yeah.
The MLM people, they only talk about adversity because they want to be relatable. So they'll be like, as a single mum, it's hard to make money. It's hard to start a business. Thankfully, with Amway, I'm able to go past this. Or you'll see like, one of my favorite ones, I've got a disability. As someone with ADHD, it's hard to start a business. Thankfully, Herbalife shows you a great Herbalife has a great solution.
The funny thing, because I've been pitched before, because one of my mates was in on it, and he like
You
wouldn't
went to
tell
a
me.
presentation, didn't you?
Yeah. And so like by that point I'd figured out what it was because I think I'd Googled a few things, like just using vague keywords, but it happens so much that people have written like articles about this shit.
Wait, was this a tall one or the short one?
Tall one.
Oh, the tall one.
Yeah. It's like when you type in like Control R commands like into Google and they're like, this is the scam that they try and use you with by seeing your system configurations.
Right. Yeah.
But so I typed this in. I knew what I was going in for at this point, right? But what I noticed was in the thing they said in the article I read, they only mentioned the company at the very end. And the second they mention the company, they get very defensive and say, now I know you're thinking, Amway, scam. And it happened word for word. It went through and it said, what's important to you in life? Is it travel, family, financial security, all this different shit like that? And I'm like, travel, financial. I'm just playing along because it's a bit of fun. And then they get like, after 40 minutes, sitting in a coffee after cafe after it closed. So the fucking chairs are just there and we're sat down there. The only thing open's a fucking Woolies. Shout out, Aaron.
I used to work there.
He used to talk to 16-year-old girls. Anyway.
Shut up, bro. That's not true.
He did.
Well, is it not true?
Definitely did.
After 40 minutes, finally they get to Amway. And I'm like, Jesus, bro. You're just taking the piss now. I got to walk home. It's fucking dark.
I got to say, okay, wait, so it was him and it was also his manager, wasn't it?
It was the recruiter guy. He was bringing in a client and the recruiter guy was trying to fucking sell it. So it's probably the guy who brought him in. You know what I mean? Like, it's a typical fucking sham.
So it wasn't your mate who was doing the talking?
No, he didn't say a word.
It didn't say a word.
No.
However, that same mate tried to get me on Amway. So the way I'd made it very clear I wasn't interested in joining an MLM from the start.
Yeah.
But he was like, okay, that's cool. Can I just try pitch my presentation on you for practice?
Yeah.
So obviously I knew this was some kind of strategy, but I was like, yeah, sure. So he took me to a cafe, bought me food. That was cool.
Oh, he
But
bought you some food?
Yeah, he bought me some food. And
Was
he
it just
tried to
you and
pitch
him?
me. Sorry?
Was it just you and him?
It was just me and him.
Yep.
That's sexy.
Staring at each other in the eyes, very romantic.
Hey.
His deep brown eyes.
Yeah.
So anyway, he showed me all these like diagrams and pictures and stuff about how much money you can make, what level you're at, the god tier
Wow,
level,
how does
the
it work?
grand fucking dragon. You get like fucking Lamborghinis and shit. I don't know, but like it was just very hard to tell him no, but I did.
Why was it hard to tell him no?
Because I feel bad, like I'm crushing his dreams. He's not going to be rich now.
It was also, to give context, it was like a close high school mate of me and Aaron's.
How does the pitch go?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it goes for a very long time. They start off with the typical, like, you could be doing this. You know what I mean? Like, the issue is, like, these people don't know sales. And, like, a lot of the times the best sales tactic is to ask a question, but then let the person talk. Because you want them to talk themselves into it without you saying too many words.
Yeah.
Because you say a lot, they're thinking that you're convincing them.
Yeah.
If you let them say a lot,
Yeah.
they're convincing themselves.
For sure,
You know what I mean? And these people just present and ask you a few questions and then present. And it's like, you're getting bored by the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's one of those things where it's definitely preying on old people. It reminded me of like,
Oh my God.
Is it old people or is it young people?
I think it's like middle-aged wives.
yeah.
Oh,
It's preying
really?
on, lazy, unambitious people.
Yeah.
Because ambitious people are trying to find the next thing. Or they're trying to find a scheme in the current thing to like finesse the situation. This is like, you're too scared of making your own business, so come join ours and make your own. You know what I mean? Like,
So true.
Who's that annoying American YouTuber who does money things? He's like, you save every dollar of your income and
Graham Stephan?
Exactly.
He's not selling MLMs.
Oh,
he's
no,
also
no.
got good advice. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I fucking hate him. Anyway,
You're just jealous because he's pro ETFs and you just lost.
No, do you
40%
know
of
why?
your investments.
To give everyone context, Graham Stephan has two channels, the Graham Stephan Show and then just Graham Stephan. Graham Stephan gives quite good advice. He says, invest in your IRA, which is like a super fund for Australia, right? In America, we've got super funds, different, right? But he's like, invest in this, buy things like property, buy this. And yeah, he does make a lot of videos because he lives off his fucking salary.
Yeah, he has to repeat the same stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But Baz doesn't like it because the Graham Stephan Show is him looking at these retards investing money, and they're like, well, actually, you probably shouldn't have bought a Lamborghini when your whole net worth was put into one asset. And Baz is like, bro, what do you mean? Let me flex. I want to buy an AP at 25.
his
That's my
advice-
dream.
His advice might be solid, but it's all about the delivery.
Yeah.
He's just the most annoying human being on earth.
He's
It's
a
like,
real estate agent.
huh?
He was a real estate agent
I
before
know.
in red tie.
I'm sure he would be a great real estate agent. I'm sure he's very qualified for that position with his voice. Anyway, what I'm trying to get to is that he was talking about how MLM people are when I remember on the Graham Stephan Show, they opened, like CNBC opened that show about really successful young person is like making $600K by the age of 24. And his mind was that this guy's either a YouTuber, a a finance guy or an MLM guy?
What's wrong with that?
As in, some MLM people are making fucking bank
They are.
at
They
a
are.
really young age.
They are.
100%.
Fucking hell, boys.
In the same way that some dictators are making billions.
Yeah,
That
but
doesn't mean it's a good business
but
strategy.
dictators aren't 24.
So you
Some
hate
of them
him
are.
because
King
he was
Tut?
correct?
He was a guy.
I don't think he was a dictator, was he?
I mean, what's a pharaoh but not a dictator?
Just a king.
Brother, kings are dictators. Let's be real. Let's keep it a buck, right? If the harvest wasn't good that year, they sacrificed 20,000 people because they need the Nile to flood the next year. I mean,
Yeah.
sounds dictator-ish. At least dictator adjacent, you know?
Fair enough.
How good would it be making money from an MLM?
Yeah.
Like being
You have
that
to start
24 year,
MLM.
yeah. Or well, these 24-year-olds apparently aren't. I would like to watch a bit more about these 24-year-olds who are making bank. Like, what is it that they're doing right?
I don't believe them if they have a YouTube channel, to be fair. If they're
Yeah.
in the MLM and have a YouTube channel, they're trying to sell
It was a
that product.
CNBC that was covering a successful young person.
Also because apparently on the John Oliver hit piece when they were talking about MLN, it was like the whole business model of you sign up 5 people and they sign up 5 people and they sign up 5 people. It's like it can only be done 7 or 13, like some relatively low digit amount of times before you run out of people.
That was so good. I remember.
Yeah. So it's like it's
But that's the thing. You don't need that many people. All you need is
to make 600 figures.
150,
Of course,
150 people. Easy.
150 is a
just
lot
get
of people.
150 people though.
Underneath you.
150
Exactly,
people is
you
a
run
lot
out
of
of
people.
They ask you to get, like with all sales jobs, they ask you to get 3 because you'll get 2. And then they ask you to get 5 because you'll get 3. So they don't actually expect you to bring in the 3 people. They just want you to bring one person.
But Baz,
and then
if
that
you
person brings one
let's
person.
say you right now, if you tried to get people into it,
Yeah.
all your immediate friends would start distancing yourself from you. Maybe your dad would throw you a pity one saying, yeah, no, the dishwashing detergent, it was good.
It depends how bought in you are to it. That's the thing. If it's something where like you see the value there, maybe. But the thing is, none of us see the value.
I've met people who see value and
same.
it's nowhere near, it doesn't convey inspiring. It makes you think that they're a brainwashed cult. Like MLNs and fucking cults have very similar principles.
I want to go to one of these presentations.
Oh, you got to go. It's
Let's
like
go.
a life
Is
experience.
it- Upload it on the
is this
bucket.
tall guy, is he still into it?
Who knows?
I don't think
I hope
so.
not.
I hope not.
Should we
yeah.
get him on the pod?
Talk about it. That would be
And
good.
he could do a practice.
I
pod.
would actually be.
If he was out of it, that would be an interesting episode. Like saying, okay, what is your mindset with it? Like, what is your opinion now?
Do you think that you could actually make some good money in this?
He followed
Yeah.
Milk Bucket Instagram.
I know. I saw.
Yeah.
I saw. So he knows about it. I feel like why not get him on?
You're endorsed by an MLM right now.
Yo, imagine if we got sponsored by Amway. I'm not gonna
Shit
lie.
you've talked.
I'd take the money. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I'm not gonna lie. I would have an issue with that. I don't want to get
That's
viewers
where you draw
involved.
the line.
Anyway, Sen, Critical Banter. They do a lot of like games. Like, how do you phrase Smash, Marry, Kill? Is it that
Segment.
way, or
It's a game.
but like on TikTok? Do you say those words, or do you do it like in a PC term or something?
I think we say shoot, shag, marry from
Oh,
memory.
classic.
okay.
Shoot,
Yeah,
shag, marry.
Which is what it is, by the way.
Yeah,
Shoot,
It's
shag,
the
marry.
American version, isn't it?
Shoot, shag, marry.
Yeah.
Shag.
Wouldn't it be the
Shag's
British?
not-
Oh, it's English. Yeah.
Sorry.
Apologies.
Fuck, Mary, Kill. So aggressive in it.
Yeah.
Jesus. Anyway, I wanted to bring a game type, and if people like it, they can fucking request it, and we can do it again. But it's Am I the Arsehole?
Okay.
Lovely.
Yep.
So I'm gonna read out the scenario. We're gonna see what we think.
Yeah. And the possible answers for this is no one's the asshole. You are the asshole. They're the asshole. Everyone's an asshole.
100%.
So those are the 4
Let's hope
answers.
for a lot of assholes. Makes for a fun night. Title is Am I the arsehole for not wanting to celebrate my mum on my birthday?
Oh, okay.
How are we feeling off the jump?
First of all, no, it's your birthday. Why
I
would
don't
you
think
celebrate your
you're an
mum?
asshole. No.
Not the arsehole?
Because she
Not the
gave
arsehole.
birth to you? Is that the justification?
Who
I
knows?
guess we're going to find out.
We're going to find out. I have 3 siblings aged between 10 and 18. I'm the oldest, 4th at 25. Every year on every single one of our birthdays, we're expected to celebrate my mum as well. We've done it since we were little. It was taught to me as giving thanks for carrying and giving birth to us, which I'm all for. I'm grateful as we wouldn't be there without her. The issue is, though, it becomes less of our birthday and more so an anniversary of the day our mum gave birth. Every year on our birthday, our mum gets gifts too. As we got older, we're now expected to get monetary gifts and not cards or homemade stuff. Just recently, my birthday, I was gifted some much needed clothes, dishwares for my new apartment. My dad, however, got my mum a new MacBook.
Jeez.
My sister also got a gift too. Oh, my sibling, sorry. My youngest brother isn't expected to give much, but my 16-year-old sister and 18-year-old brother work, so they're expected to give gifts too. My sister pulled me aside for my birthday and said she was sorry she couldn't get me much. She got me a sweater. I love it. And she wanted to get me more, but our mum was pressuring her to get a certain necklace. Apparently, my mum had been dropping hints for months, and my sister was worried our mum would be upset and feel unappreciated if she didn't get it. I asked how much it was, and my sister said it was $300.
Jeez.
I honestly lost it on her mum and chewed into her later that afternoon when my mum opened her gifts after me. I think it's ridiculous for even wanting my sister to spend so much money on a gift. My mum started crying and my dad kicked me out. My mum won't answer calls, but aunts, mum's sisters, called and said I was a piece of shit for not respecting my mother and that I'm selfish, narcissistic, and a child for being jealous that my mum got good gifts. I thought I was in the right, but now I don't know. It's been over 2 weeks and my mum won't answer any of my calls. She's been posting on Facebook inspiration quotes about letting go of the toxicity in your life. How blood doesn't equal family, how hard it is to be a mother. Several family members, aunts, grandma, uncle, and 2 of my cousins are replying to the post and are very obviously directing vague comments at me for being a horrible daughter. I don't know what to think now because of how many people are on our side.
Yep. I would say you're both assholes.
You reckon?
Yeah,
Really?
assholes, yeah.
I am defending the son in 100%.
I think it's a daughter.
I don't know if it's a son or a daughter, actually.
Daughter, sorry.
I saw it as a daughter.
I'm seeing it as a daughter as well, I'm not going to lie, but I don't know if they actually said it.
Yeah, they're both assholes.
I don't think
I
so.
would say. I feel like you guys would all be saying that the daughter's right.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Because it's a tradition. Like and firstly, don't make a big deal out of it in front of people. Pull her aside and say, look, hey.
Yeah, but it's your
this is not
family.
cool. Huh?
It's your family anyway.
Exactly. Treat them with respect.
No, but like it impacts them all.
What do you mean?
Every single sibling is buying gifts for the
But
parent.
right then and there?
Yeah, they're giving the gifts to them.
No. Pull them aside and a later date, hey, this is the situation. I'm not comfortable with this. I don't want this to happen like this. It makes me uncomfortable that you're getting better gifts than I am on my birthday.
That would achieve
But-
nothing, though.
but
If you
not-
think about the scenario just then, you saying, I'm uncomfortable with the fact that you get gifts for giving birth to us, it makes you seem even more narcissistic.
Also,
if you
the other-
open up and you get the wrapping paper that they use to wrap someone else's gift, it's a visceral reaction, isn't it?
I'm still on the side of if everyone else is, like, if all the other family members are taking the mum side, there's probably some information that she isn't giving right now. So there's probably more to the story. She's the one writing it. I would say everyone's the asshole in this situation until I have further justification. This is exactly what happened.
The idea that sometimes people don't see the full picture, whilst it is true, a lot of times it's not. Like, a lot of the times people just like taking the sides of other people. Like, I know from personal experience when there is clearly someone in the wrong, but someone is
She's just
supporting them.
jealous. She's literally just jealous
Jealous of what?
Her birthday.
of the mum's gifts.
Why is the mum getting
Yeah,
gifts?
why is
Exactly.
exactly
That's
that? I think
retarded.
that's what the issue is.
Well, firstly, the dad buying the mum a MacBook, fucking that's none of your business. All right, it's not
But
because
it's for that.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
for
no,
that.
no, you don't just get him a Mac randomly. She
No,
probably needed a
it
MacBook.
is literally for that, though.
Nah, the way I would see is that she probably needed a MacBook.
Why
So
would she need a
so-
MacBook?
so they
Why
got-
would she get it on that day?
Yeah, why would she
wrapped
wait
up?
until
Why would she get it
then?
on
Yeah.
that day? Why would she need a MacBook?
No, because it's an excuse to give it to her.
What about her birthday or Mother's Day or Christmas?
It might be too far away. Like she might have wanted one, and then this is the day that coincides.
Give
with
it to her any other
Any
day.
other day.
But that's the tradition of the family.
The tradition is
Fucked up
wrong.
But that's the whole point. Is the way it's saying, is it a retarded tradition? I would argue yes.
I think we're gonna have to agree. To
I don't
disagree.
think every tradition is.
I
is
think there's
good.
more to it.
I think a lot of times traditions are bad. There are
Sure,
certain
most are
you can
bad.
agree or disagree with the tradition,
There-
and I certainly disagree with it. But in terms of who's an asshole in this situation, you're both assholes. I would say
I
you didn't need to
gotta-
make
yeah,
a big,
I gotta
you didn't need
disagree.
to make a big deal out of it.
But the reality is, if you're getting shit gifts and the mum's getting pampered and people are saying, oh, so sorry, I couldn't get you a nice gift. I had to spend this on mum because she was dropping it in conversation. And like, there are some people who are good at getting gifts. Like some, people always talk about good gift givers.
Yeah.
People don't talk about good gift receivers. Like, you could give someone a gift to one person and then another, and the one person you feel amazing about it, and the other you feel like shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the value of a good gift receiver
She
is
sounds like
so
a shit
good.
gift receiver.
I think the
100%
mum
honest.
sounds like a bad gift receiver
I agree,
because she's
but
dropping
so
shit.
does this fucking woman who's had a tantrum on her fucking birthday.
I don't know.
All right, mate. It's your birthday. Be happy with what you got. Plus, you're 24. All right, you're old enough to not get fucking birthday presents anymore. So just be happy with what you've got and fuck off.
Who
This
doesn't get
fucking-
birthday presents at 24?
Huh?
Who doesn't get birthday presents once they hit a certain age? It's not Christmas.
Yeah.
It's not Santa Claus.
Maybe if you live
You
with
get
your family.
birthday presents more than I've ever seen people get
but
birthday
my
presents.
family are very big gifters. That's the thing.
What are you talking
What are you
about?
talking
My
about?
family are big gifters.
Where's the 24 thing come from?
No, I'd say a lot of 24-year-olds don't get gifts anymore. Like
Who?
they've moved out, they don't live with their family anymore. So like, why would they get gifts anymore?
Because it's for their birthday. Why would they not get gifts?
I don't know. This is just from a lot of the friends I know. They
I
wouldn't
don't
get
think
gifts.
this is from a lot of.
This
I
is
think
so
Basil
cap.
has drawn a conclusion, and we questioned him, and he
Let's-
now has to think, "Fuck,
let's-
I love it when
No,
Baz
I-
corners himself.
Yeah,
I'm
it's so
not,
funny.
I'm not cornered. I just don't want to listen.
Baz
to this.
didn't think he could beat an elephant, but he accidentally slipped up when he was drunk, and now he has to defend it for the rest of the
Well,
time.
I mean, what do you expect me to do? List names?
First
Yes,
names.
we can bleep them out.
All right, let's ask Edmund. Let's ask Shitty.
Okay,
Let's
well,
ask any adult that lives by himself.
we will confirm.
I can also
this
just
next
name
time.
random names.
No, they know both.
Also, one of them's family doesn't live in the same country as him.
Sure.
What do you mean,
You
sure?
can transfer money.
Dude, that's not a gift.
That's not a gift.
I don't live in the same. Anyway,
Yes, you do. Your
I
family
feel like, I
lives
feel
here.
like we're going
We've been
now.
here when you open up birthday presents from your sister. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but like I'll get parent.
This man's
gifts from
trapped in the
overseas
biggest
people.
corner.
Yeah,
I'm not trapped. I
He
still
feels
stand
scared.
by my point.
he feels scared.
Swinging for his life.
Legit swinging for his life. He's like Deontay Wilder in this
Now I'm
movie.
getting gangbanged right now.
You are getting
That's what it
gangbanged.
feels like.
All right, let's move on.
Anyway, talking about swinging for your life, we had an Aussie win in the UFC in the heavyweight division recently, tied to Ivasa. He's
Bam
fucking
Bam.
a Sydney boy. Bam
Is
bam.
it the indigenous guy?
Maori and Indigenous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's both.
He's both. Yeah.
Holy shit! Isn't the guy
But
always
we claim him. Fuck New Zealand, and they're trying to steal our athletes. He's Aussie.
because he always wears the indigenous flag, doesn't he? That's his go-to.
Maybe. I don't know.
Actually, yeah, I don't know that.
I think he's
either.
got a tat as well, like an indigenous tat,
I think that was an Islander tat.
an islander tat.
Yeah, I've seen it with a lot of Islanders. The one that goes around your hips and shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
But he knocked out Derek Lewis, who's the Black Beast, one of the great, one of the best fucking. If you ever want to have a fucking great Instagram follow the Black Beast, because that motherfucker is great. His shtick was always he'll show like a video of a dude getting hit by a car and then falling into another car and getting hit again, and he'd just say he's okay, and you assume because he's got 200k followers that it's like, oh, he's got like someone sent him this video and said, oh, don't worry, by the way, he's okay. And it quickly become like the video started escalating to such an extreme level where it was obvious he's not okay.
Yeah.
And people started realizing like, oh, this is a meme the whole time. You mean that guy back there died? Like, because someone will fall on a hacksaw or something like that and he just wrote, he's okay or something like that.
gosh.
Oh wait, that's Derek Lewis, the guy.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Derek Lewis, Black Beast.
Well, he just died from the not died, but he got wrecked
He
by
got
the Aussie
elbowed
guy.
to the fucking head
He
and
got
just
slapped.
Holy
dropped.
fuck!
And here's the thing, it's interesting because we've had, I think, one Australian UFC champion, which was Robert Whittaker. And without being
I thought
unpaid,
Volkanovski?
oh fucking yeah, Jesus Christ, that's so bad. But Volkanovski was the proper one because
Sen.
Yeah.
Rob Whittaker, he won it, but like he didn't beat a champion to get it.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So it was a bit of a weird one where he's also like, he's such a nice guy, but he's
I
not
love
that
him.
fun to watch.
Such a nice. Yeah. Yeah.
You know
He's
what I
not
mean?
an exciting fighter. but
He
he's
lost the
such a top
title
bloke.
fight this week, which was a close one, but whatever. But the question is, would it be fucking amazing if we had an Aussie heavyweight champion of the world?
So what does he need to do to become a heavyweight champion?
Well, he has to beat the heavyweight. He has to beat the current heavyweight champion,
Who
and
is?
it's named Francis Ngannou. And
Oh, it's Francis
That guy-
Ngannou.
He's
current betting
scary.
odds,
Oh, I've seen it.
current betting odds, I would not bet on fucking him. But Polynesians have that fucking chin, bro. They got the right hook. They've got like, if anyone's gonna do it, I got to put my money on Bam Bam. I'm not gonna lie.
I
Like,
think he needs to get into a bit better shape, I reckon.
yeah, he's a
Before he
big
goes
fat
against
boy.
Francis.
What do you guys think about that? That Kiwi boxer, or maybe UFC guy or MMA guy, who stood up for Joe Rogan.
The Nigerian guy, yeah.
Oh.
What's his name? Israel Adesanya.
Adesanya, yeah.
Oh.
He fought Robert Whittaker this weekend for the middleweight title.
Oh, is that the Aussie
Yeah.
guy? Robert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, how did it go?
Stylebender won for sure, like I would say, but it was a very boring fight.
Yeah.
And like it was, Stylebender has a habit, and it's happened quite a few times of late, where he's winning a fight, but he's just winning.
Yeah.
And he's not taking the risk to do it. And he's gotten lucky. Like he fought a guy called Yoel Romero, and Yoel Romero did it with like 3 fights in a row where Yoel's got bad corner advice where they're telling him he's winning. So he's going into the 5th round. And if you were to watch the fight, you'd be like, well, Yoel's winning because the other guy's tired and Yoel's just playing around with him at this point. He's like leaning forward, sticking his tongue out, all this shit. But Yoel doesn't realize that it's breakdown into rounds and he's actually losing the fight on paper. And so he just takes the 5th round off and then loses the fight. And he's like, what's going on? And I'm scared that Izzy's going to fall into the same category because Izzy's quite entertaining.
But I don't feel like so with the Israel guy, he seems like when you hear him talk in a podcast, he doesn't sound like he'd be that good at fighting. So if I met him on the street, I wouldn't have thought he was
because he watches anime and shit.
Yeah, he's such a weeboo.
Yeah.
He is such a fucking weeboo. If
Yeah,
I
we
met
could
him in
crack
fucking
your neck very easily.
yeah, if I met him in Sanctuary, I'd be like, oh, shut up, buddy. Shut up, buddy. Like, you're tall, all right. You got some muscle on you, but just shut up. Just
Sanctuary is a bar.
keep it down. Sanctuary is a bar full of Asians, which he would
I
definitely.
don't think you
part
need to
of.
specify that last
Oh, I know,
one.
because he's a weeboo, so he would fucking love it.
Okay,
He would
right.
definitely be there.
He's very funny though. That's the thing. Like, he's probably the closest thing we've had to an actual Conor McGregor since McGregor. Because
Actually,
all the other guys who've tried it, they don't like. The thing about Americans is, unless you're Italian or Irish, you can't shit talk when you're from America. And even the Italians, some of them can't break balls. Like, they get too serious.
Yeah.
They don't realize that Conor
Get angry.
McGregor, when he's saying like, "Who the fuck is that guy?" He's literally like, "Shut the fuck up, cunt!" Like,
Yeah.
'cause I feel like when you listen to Aussies, when you listen to the people from the UK and Ireland and stuff, like, you're brought up ball breaking, and you're also brought up when you're not taking yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
Like, everyone, like, if you take yourself too serious, if you tried to be a TikTok star, appears badly on all of us, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
If you try to be a TikTok star and you go to school the next day, they're gonna bully you relentlessly if you were just throwing it back.
Yeah, you'd get
Yeah.
mercilessly bullied, and deservedly so if you
Oh,
ask me.
100%. Fuck you. I hope you die in a shower. I hope you die in a fire. Like, I'm sick of this shit.
So-
Anyway, that's been an episode. The funny thing is, who knows what you'll have heard up to? Because there were some semi-controversial things said. We might have to see what happens. So, see you next week,
I
lads.
mean, first things first, thank you very much.
Thanks so much,
for
Sam.
coming
Fuck
on.
me.
No worries,
I'm
guys.
flustered.
I'm interested to see, it's probably going to be a 20-minute episode after we cut out all that.
Yeah. So where can they find more of Sen?
Don't find more of me. Don't come for my personal stuff.
Not up to the end of that
Come
episode.
to my house.
What's your exact address?
You can find the podcast at Critical Banter on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook if you want. I think we're on Etsy. I don't know.
Spotify?
Oh, yeah,
Apple
Etsy.
Podcasts?
No.
Are you guys on Facebook?
Yeah, we have a Facebook
No
page somewhere.
fucking way. We need to be on Facebook.
Bro, we're not in
We need to attract the
2011.
50-year-old anti-vaxxers.
How many followers on Facebook do you have? Or how many likes?
I don't know. I haven't checked in a while. But yeah, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube are the big three, or Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Fucking show some milk bucket love over there. You know what I mean? Go boost up the views. I don't know, write some, if you heard what we just said, write what we just said to fuck up their monetization. It'd be funny, It'd be an interesting episode.
Yeah, go say hi to the Critical Banter Podcast. Say that you came here from Milk Bucket. Let them know that we sent you here. And by the way, make sure to check out our 2 sponsors. So firstly, you got Puppy, and then secondly, you got Manscaped.
Code milk bucket for both of them. Hit them up. Give us 5-star review. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok. Fucking, you know the drill. Just fucking see it.
I believe on Puppy, it's Milk Puppet.
Is it?
Yeah, Milk Puppet.
It will be in the description.
It'll be in the description.
All of it will be in the
We'll
description.
confirm it.
Anyway, see you later, guys. This
See
is
you
Dragging
guys.
On.